Joe Biden decided to go into the lion's den by airing a new ad on Fox and Friends so that Trump supporters could actually watch it. Now, we're going to show you this ad, and we're also going to show you the context that it was run on Fox and Friends. It's a very powerful, very sad ad. And then they immediately go back into the show, and I want you to stick around for the end of the video to see how the transition back to Fox and Friends was handled.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
She was the most welcoming person you could ever imagine. Her home was the safe place. It was difficult to comprehend how quickly everything kind of spiraled downwards. We didn't even know that she had COVID till a week later in her passing. The president made a huge mistake in downplaying this virus. There was a lack of leadership, a lack of responsibility, and the lack of resources. I felt like our elderly have not been a priority for this administration, that they don't matter. And I feel like my grandmother didn't matter. The last time I saw my grandmother, we weren't going to be allowed in the hospital. We asked if we could video chat her, and everyone could say a little something. We gathered as a family, we prayed. But the fact that she was alone, it just breaks my heart.
We are family. Okay. So I did it. We can't, John. You can't.
We can't. Okay, so look. Yes, they came back with "We Are Family" playing.
Family, get up, everybody, and sing, get up, everybody.
I should have thought that. You'd get a strike. I get that. Anyway, they came back to the actual music.
Pre-lap in post, John. Don't worry about it.
Anyway,
we're family. We take care of each other.
Yeah, so after that devastating ad about the damage that has been done to countless thousands of American families, they came back with "We Are Family." Now, look, I guess in their defense, it is unlikely that they knew exactly which ad break it would be in, I think. So I doubt it was intentional. Certainly doesn't look good for the president, and that ad was devastating. And the thing is, look, I don't, like, to some extent, some people might think it's, exploitative or something like that. But you could literally make 100 ads like that every day between now and the election, and everyone would be just as devastating, just as honest, and probably just as necessary to get people to realize that although many people have skated through the pandemic without, getting sick, without dying, lots happen. And I think it's been too easy for people to forget about that. I see it all the time when I walk around my neighborhood and I see people without masks. I go to the park, and literally almost nobody has masks. There's been so many people who moved on from this thing, but a lot of people aren't going to be able to.
Dude, it's so nuts. I go to the beach and see thousands of people just not care. Like big bonfires, people gathered. No one, like a large portion of people don't care. And it's so frustrating. It is wildly frustrating. All of it is frustrating. Every aspect of it. Because I talk to people who are like, listen, it's just like the flu. They're still saying that. That is an insane statement because an average flu year, like a middling flu year, is what, like 35,000 to 45,000 deaths.
That's what they were saying in the beginning. Yeah. It's not the flu. The flu kills 35,000.
And during the flu, like, yes, that happens. We have a flu shot. So we've done all we can, and this we don't, and we've shut everything down, and it's still at 160, 170,000 deaths. Yeah. Anything past that, if you're still arguing, you're just trying to go back to some kind of normal, and I do understand that, but it is not normal. This is a weird, crazy time. We have to make these decisions and be these. And then I have people that I follow on Instagram all over the world, and they're back to normal. And a lot of them are back to normal.
They're at the beach, and
and we don't have that luxury because we thought we were living this luxury because we thought we had the luxury.
Yeah, and we could have. There are major countries that we talked about yesterday on the show. There are European countries that have logged days with 0 deaths, and we're bigger than them, sure. So maybe we wouldn't have 0. But it could be 50 or 100. It could easily have been 100. But unfortunately, for a lot of reasons, I think the single largest reason is complete lack of interest in protecting us on the behalf of the government, and that's mostly Trump, but not just Trump, and not just Republicans. We're not going to do that, and then you combine it with all of the particular personality characteristics of your average American, and I have come to the realization, and I'm sure many of you have as well, that we will not be safe from this until a rock solid vaccine is made available. There is just, not in America, not going to be safe, because we are not going to take it seriously. The government's not going to take it seriously. And if they're not going to, we're certainly not going to step in and do it for them. But anyway,
I want to say, that ad notwithstanding, watching Fox and Friends or any morning news show is that experience anyway. They're all victims and recipes. Like, that's the Today Show, that's Good Morning America. They're all like, and you watch like them go. And 40 people were murdered by bees. Coming up, how's your barbecue going to be with this new melon baller technology?
Yeah.
You're just like, what? That and that's huge. That's the usual. I feel crazy while watching that show.
Yeah.
But there should be some sense of responsibility that Fox and Friends feels when it's not the happenstance coming back from a sad commercial. Within their own show, they still do that. They're still saying hydroxychloroquine's cool. They're denying the fact that Trump said. They're trying to move on and hide the fact that Trump said, when left his own devices, inject yourself with demon semen or whatever.
Yeah. And that kids, like, shocked that kids can get it. Like last week, shocked that kids could get it. That might have been Monday this week, actually. Yeah, exactly. And the thing about the flu, too, I just want to mention, I try to remind people of this, as I did at the beginning when those comparisons were being made, when it was like, well, only 500 people have died from COVID. The flu killed 60,000. I want to remind people, we're in a COVID pandemic. The flu still happens. It's not like you trade it for COVID. It's still you can still slip off a ladder and die. All of the normal things that can kill you can still kill you. This is extra stuff. That's what makes it so bad. And also, as someone pointed out in the chat, generally, once you've survived the flu, you're not necessarily suffering lifelong lung damage, heart damage, other organ damage. It doesn't cause something similar to Kawasaki syndrome in kids. There are other issues, even if you survive this virus, that are not necessarily the case with the flu. It's just such a stupid comparison in literally every way that it could be.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.